Disappearing from School of the Moon. The night that Dougal and Colum went on their first livestock raid without their father is shown to us in a flashback. Ellen also intended to leave, but Red Jacob quickly stopped that. When Colum's horse got spoked and tossed him, seriously hurting him, the lads' School of the Moon session took a turn for the worst. Jacob was furious when Dougal brought his brother home because he couldn't believe his sons had given up on the raid. Jacob remained upset that Colum wasn't recovering well in the weeks that followed. Colum blamed Dougal for the incident, telling his father that he violated the plan by attempting to obtain a bounty from the MacDonalds. The raiders accompanied Dougal when he departed. Did the men not trust you as their leader? Without even waiting for his son to respond, Jacob sneers. It doesn't matter anymore, you're nothing more than a cripple. Point of order, Outlander fans. Toulouse-Lautrec syndrome is a hereditary condition that was identified in the original series as the cause of Colum's movement problems. In this case, however, the story seems to imply that his infirmity is the consequence of being flung from a horse. Talk about it when you go to the comments section. When Ellen and Dougal get some alone time, Ellen points out that Dougal is a huge fool for not seeing that himself and that there's a fair chance the Grants would support James McKinney, the other man who has been putting a lot of effort into becoming the laird of the clan. She then calls Ned and requests that he consult her brothers again, giving him some written notes to help him with his task. You have artfully managed it. Everyone assembles for the oath-taking ceremony in the Great Hall the following day. From the balcony, Ellen and her sisters observe. The Grants are there with Henry. A bagpiper joins Colum and Dougal as they enter in a stately manner. As the MacKenzie men speak to the audience, there is silence. Although he acknowledges that he is not a warrior, Colum informs everyone that he wants to reign and that, in the event of conflict, I will defer to my brother, Dougal, as war chieftain. After delivering a speech in which he promises to be Colum's legs and sword arm in the field, Dougal kneels and pledges his allegiance to his brother. After pledging to be loyal to Dougal in times of conflict, Colum then joins him on the ground. This was Ellen's grand scheme, of course. Following confirmation that everything is Scottish kosher, McKinney and the other males in the room form a line to express their support. Janet informs Ellen, "You've done it as artfully as De would have. Julia takes care of what needs to be done." Let's now check in on Julia, who has not been spared Davina's gimlet eye despite being pregnant. Davina recommends that the new maid take an abortifacient to bring down the flowers, or induce miscarriage, as Julia has been at Castle Leathers for over a month and has not had her period. "You didn't do that," Brian calls you Ma. Julia wisely notes. It doesn't matter, though, because Simon will dispose of the baby personally if Julia doesn't, according to Davina. Concerned, Julia insists she hasn't been knocked up. New Gowan, in the meantime, puts Henry in touch with a local madam who he claims may assist him locate the woman he's seeking. Henry tells her about Julia and offers to cover the cost of the search. As she writes her most recent letter to Henry at the end of the hour, Julia explains how she is always being monitored at Castle Leathers and that there is no way out. She writes/voices, "So pardon me for what I'm about to do." Then, at night, she sneaks into Simon's chamber and removes her gown.